There is an awful lot of excitement going on, and I'm not just talking about the world of hockey. No, I'm talking about right here at BPTV Studios because we are in the process of moving. We're getting out of this and into brand new studios. Now, what does that mean? That means this is the last show of 2017. When we come back, it'll be 2018. We will be in brand new studios with a brand new set, but still the same rowdy, ribald reviews in hockey. I guarantee that. So as this is our last show of this year, I want to make sure that we say a very Merry Christmas and the best of the new year to all of you who watch the show on a regular basis. And yeah, even for those of you who maybe are catching us for the first time. We have an awful lot to talk about in the world of hockey as we wrap up 2017. In the Crease is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of In the Crease, and we have to start this episode off by going back and dragging my former co-host through the mud. Apparently, on the official In the Crease Facebook page, we had a bit of a battle start, if you will. Now, as most of you know that, a good number of years, I co-hosted this show with Bob Nelson, who is exceptionally well known as a goaltending instructor in and around the Pittsburgh area here. Bob posted something, and it found its way over to the Facebook page about Ron Hextall, the Flyer goaltender, scoring the first NHL goal. You know, and I looked and I went, that doesn't sound quite right. So a quick check of facts showed that it was indeed 30 years ago that the first NHL goalie scored a goal. However, it wasn't Ronnie Hextall. It was Billy Smith of the New York Islanders. So, in my own inimitable fashion, I posted a correction to Bob's post. Now, you have to understand something here. Bob is a huge Philadelphia Flyer fan. For those of you who haven't watched the show when he was on, I mean, the Flyers, even in their horrible years, could do no wrong. They were just, that's his team, okay? So obviously, he has an awful lot of friends who are Flyer fans as well. I know, it's hard to believe that there would be any, right? Well, they start flooding the Facebook feed, and the thread is growing and growing, claiming that no, Hextall deserves the first goal. Here's where the controversy comes in. Apparently what happened was Hextall fired the puck down the ice. There was an empty net, and he scored the goal. Earlier, by a couple of months, I think, Billy Smith had a similar situation. The puck was shot toward him. It hit him, bounced off his chest, and landed on the ice. One of the other players tried to backhand it out of the way from the other team, and it sailed up and over and down the ice and went into the goal. Well, the last Islander to touch it was Billy Smith, so they gave credit to the goal to Billy Smith. Technically, he was the first goaltender to be credited with scoring a goal. But the fans in Philly said, no, it didn't count because he didn't shoot it. Well, I had to go. George Wagner, who is probably one of the best as far as hockey trivia and dates and minutia. He is to hockey probably what Stan Savran is to sports. He knows all this stuff. It comes. Backed me up. Said it was Billy Smith who was credited officially with scoring the first goal. And that's one of the reasons why here, cameramen hate this, why I wore the New York Islanders jersey tonight in honor of Billy Smith. He didn't wear this jersey, of course. This is one of their newer third versions. But still, point was made. I was right. And now Bob and all of his cohorts are seething and upset. They're still arguing the point. As far as I'm concerned, it's done. It's probably not as rare as you think it is to... Oh, and by the way, Hextall and Smith both scored more goals later on. It was just the battle over who got it first, okay? But scoring a goal by a goaltender is not necessarily as difficult as you would like. Now, certainly in the NHL, it's a little bit more difficult. But if we kick back and go to the ranks of, say, the AHL, the ECHL, and even down to the college levels, you find that there are quite a number of goaltenders who have put the puck in the opposite net. The folks at Gen 95 have put a video compilation together showing all the times a goaltender scored a goal. Scope us out.
The zone until the zone clears. Naslund with a minute to go. He'll lift this ahead. Nabokov knocks it down, and he'll try and score. Yevgeny Nabokov! He scores!
He did it.
Yevgeny Nabokov has scored the first goal in his NHL career, and that puts the cherry on top of this game.
Over the puck, Stauber shoots it to the length of the ice. Is it in? Is it in? Yes, it is in! Yes, it is in! Rob Stauber!
Obviously, you know, scoring a goal is great, and it is part of history. But I'd like to have 5 shutouts in a row, obviously, and 5 wins, or whatever it might be. But it was fun.
Bardreau tries to clear, can't do it. This one gloved down by Gillum. He'll shoot it length of the ice and score! Mitch Gillum, his first career start, and the freshman goaltender gets the goal to ice it just as the Big Red drew it up. It's 4-2.
Koko aloituksen, siinä on Kaapolla paikka. Nyt muuten lähdetään hakemaan. Kaapo! 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 Yes! 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 Kaapo käänköön! Kaapo käänköön! Jumalista, mikä seppä!
Savaglia puts it back for McSween. Right point deflected up and in the air. They have to wait for it to come down. Cohen can't get it. He goes out, kicks his stick, and clears it himself. Cohen's got a chance to score. This one may go all the way. It does! Paul Cohen on the goal. How do you like that? Just like that with a big one. An empty netter by Paul Cohen. Hey, amazing.
That is amazing. Ryan Hextall. Or Ron Hextall, sorry. Billy.
Porta il pieno avanti, butta nell'angolo. E poi Kowalski. Gol! Gol di Kowalski! Gol di Kowalski! Incredibile! Il gol di Gregor Kowalski!
Hampton's Ryan Keller, but now we're down to the closing 26 seconds, and Holt gonna go for the empty net! He scores! Goaltender Chris Holt into an open net! And he makes it a 4-2 hockey game with 23.6 to go in the third.
And try and get back in the game. They need the points. Here's Skinner looking for the empty net. Rolling, rolling. He scores! Stuart Skinner! Unbelievable! Stuart Skinner!
The middle bar, the strength of Brodeur, here it goes. It's going, and it finally hits the ice on the other side of the red line and locks on it. Perfect.
Dick, that'll make up for the 1 shutout he didn't get. 10 shutouts on the year, and now his first NHL Stanley Cup playoff goal, and you can see the smile under the mask.
Now he can look up at the big board and watch this, and that's just what he's doing. His best 2 chances earlier in the year were both against Detroit. Boy, he went for a corner there, didn't he? Then what a reaction.
Oh, that's the ultimate for any goaltender. And you know what the front pages of the Montreal papers are going to look like tomorrow? They're going to be plastered with that, man.
By Ballas, he'll just dump it back in around the boards. 49 seconds to go. Now Kolzig shoots for the open goal. It may score. It does! Olaf Kolzig scores! Oh my goodness! Kolzig scores a goal, and Tri-Cities will win it. It's been done in the NHL. Ron Hextall. Now Olaf Kolzig scores, and listen to the crowd.
A situation like this, Hextall is so strong in clearing. Traps it. Here he goes, bidding for one. Here's the clear. Here it is. He scores! Hextall scored a goal on the empty net. And you can see that. He is so strong at it.
That is a legitimate one. Bob Froese got one the other day for New York Rangers, never touched it. But this is the first time in my 40 years being around this game that I've actually seen a goaltender.
Red Wings as Samuelson gets it back in. Flip down there. Smith down the ice. Willie.
It's in.
Yes.
It's in. Are you kidding me? No time on the clock.
Will it count?
The red light's on.
Come over from the opposite guy, the defenseman playing the right side.
Very long wrister in. Perra's going to go for the empty net, and he scores!
Wow.
And look at that celebration. He goes to the bench, fist pumps all around.
Fraser not very happy with it, but you know what? I've mentioned this many times. With a 2-goal lead, I don't think it's a bad thing as a goaltender to go for.
Okay, there you go. That was fun. I'll probably get a whole lot more Flyer fans now commenting on things. Oh, and you know, I've had some people say they've had a very difficult time in finding In the Crease on the Facebook page. They go on the Facebook and they search In the Crease. There's your problem. It's not under In the Crease. Now, apparently there were a number of movies made, books written, all with that same title, and nobody could find the show when it was under In the Crease. You had to go like 5-6 pages deep before you could find it. So it is under Netminders, Netminders, Netminders. So if you go on Facebook and you put a search under Netminders, there you will find the official Facebook page for In the Crease. And take part in the threads if you so desire. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's no surprise that, you know, when it comes to sports, as far as I'm concerned, and probably most of the people that watch this show, when it comes to sports, there is hockey, and then there's really nothing else. Now, for a good number of years, I sat and watched football, especially dumb Steelers and that, because they were the home team and what have you. Well, when this whole controversy started with the kneeling and all that, you know what? The sport isn't that important to me to even go through, and I haven't watched an entire game all season. I haven't missed it. It turns out that the way scheduling is when you have center ice package, most of the time when the football game's on, there's a hockey game on. Given the choice, I'm taking the hockey game. It's just that simple. Well, apparently several weeks ago, the Steelers played the Cincinnati Bengals, and I know that's always a rivalry, but boy, the stories afterwards weren't about the Steeler victory as much as they were about this game is too violent. Did this stand a new standard for violence in football? Should we, you know, revisit football and maybe ban it altogether? People were going nuts over this game. So I watched the highlights of the game, and I'm scratching my head saying, okay, what was the problem here? There was no problem. What are you talking about? Too much you want to see too much violence? Here you go. Here's a blast from the past. The Colorado Avalanche, the Detroit Red Wings. Don't ever talk to me about violence in football after you watch this.
Peter Forsberg plays it. Konstantinov came in hard on Forsberg. Lidstrom to McCarty. Here is Larionov. Avalanche holding the Red Wings in their own zone. Larionov and Forsberg away from the play. Peter Forsberg took a swipe at Igor Larionov, and it isn't often that we see Igor Larionov go, but he did, and now Darren McCarty gets his shots in at Claude Lemieux, and look who came all the way out to try to help, Patrick Roy. Oh my goodness. You never know when to expect it, Darren McCarty said before. Vernon and Waugh. Mike Vernon with a great left. Follows up with the right. How about this? Lemieux was hammered by Darren McCarty, and he is being helped into the locker room. Two of the best of all time. Known for the use of the pillows. Vernon and Waugh square off. They are on their feet here at Joe Louis Arena. 301 days since the hit on Chris Draper. And look at Darren McCarty. Patrick Waugh bloodied up. Peter Forsberg bloodied up, and Lemieux in the locker room. Darren McCarty said hockey players have long memories, and the best time to seek, if you will, revenge, to seek redemption is maybe when your opponent least expects it. Say what you will of the situation. Say what you will about the hit. But this is what has happened here tonight. It starts with Forsberg and Igor Larionov. Forsberg with an extra hit to the head. And Igor objects. And he gets the headlock on Peter Forsberg. And then, away from that, Patrick Waugh and Mike Vernon. Patrick Waugh came out to aid Claude Lemieux. And look at the goalies go. And Patrick Waugh has a heck of a size advantage. And Claude Lemieux, he was hammered by Darren McCarty. McCarty came in, and he went after Claude Lemieux. Took the helmet off and got a shot or two in. And that's when Waugh came to Lemieux's rescue. And look at who stepped in on Patrick Waugh. Brendan Shanahan. Welcome back to old-time hockey. Now here's how Darren got loose. And he got the shot in at Claude Lemieux. And from there, pandemonium. Look at the goalies battle. You got to be tough and a little crazy to stop pucks traveling over 100 miles an hour. And they are tough in more ways than one. Mike Vernon and Patrick Waugh.
You hope nobody gets hurt in these kind of things. It's cleanup time, as you can see right by the Red Wing bench. Several guys had some minor blood dripping from their foreheads, and it didn't look like anybody got seriously injured. But again, hockey players are used to this kind of stuff, and it'll be interesting to see as Scotty Bowman hears what Paul Dvorsky has to say about how he deciphered all of that and who's getting what. And I'm sure the announcements to follow shortly, but they were waiting for it, and they got it. Mark Crawford not happy what he saw out there, and it looks like he's complaining that there should have been more.
That's what we like. That's hockey, and that's why hockey is a man's game. Yeah. Hey, some news to report on here. Guess who's coming back? Mike Keenan. Yeah. I like Iron Mike. I really do. I hope he comes back soon. He can't come back soon enough for me. Put him and Torts in the same room, and if we can get Daryl Sutter back, that'd be great. That'd be great. Anyway, Mike Keenan shuffled out of the NHL some 9 years ago, and he went over and actually coached a team in Russia. In fact, he won the Russian version of the Stanley Cup over there, so he's technically the only coach to win both the Stanley Cup and the Russian Cup. I think I have that written down here somewhere. I can't remember offhand what exactly the name of it is. Oh, it's the Garrigan Cup. There it is. So he's the only coach to have won both of those cups, and he's done it in his career. Anyway, he was put in charge of a Russian team that would play primarily in China because they're trying to spread hockey into China, and apparently the Chinese like the game an awful lot. But the team he was coaching went on the skids. They figured they needed a coaching change, and Keenan was out. Now he may be eyeballing the NHL. Some people are saying, no, he's been out for 9 years. He can't come back. The game has changed him. I tell you what, he might bring back to the game some of the toughness that the wusses in this league have taken out of it. So it might be a good thing. Let's keep an eye open for Mike Keenan. There are some teams out there, and you know who they are, could definitely benefit from him being behind the bench. Speaking of guys behind the bench, Tortorella, he did it again a few weeks back. But his Blue Jackets were embarrassed by the Oilers. I think the final game was 7-2. And as the penchant for all games, the head coaches come out at the end of the game and they answer questions from the media. Torts came out. He said, look, we didn't play well tonight. I'm not answering any questions. That's all there is to it. Walked off the stage. I love this guy. He's great. Italian. See, of course, they're always good that way. We want to say a special congratulations to Cam Ward. Cam Ward has been with the Carolina Hurricanes all through his 12-year career. That in itself is a rarity. But the other day, he managed to secure his 300th victory. That is a milestone, and certainly congratulations to Cam Ward. What about the people of Quebec? Talk about hubris. You know, we have, when the Vegas Golden Knights came into the league, we have an odd number. We have 31 teams. You can't do that. As a 31, it throws everything off. So the league is looking to expand, and there were 5 different cities that were looking to jump in there. Kansas City is still one of them. They've been trying to get a hockey team in Kansas City since the Penguins were last on sale, before Mario bought them out and everything. But Quebec has pretty much assumed that it was going to get a team. After all, they used to have the Nordiques, right? So they figured they were kind of a shoo-in, and they acted like they were a shoo-in because they had a team before, and after all, they're Canadian, and it's their sport. So why shouldn't they have a team? Seattle comes in and puts this proposal in front of the league in which they build this massive sports complex that not only is going to hold an NHL hockey team, it's also going to hold a new NBA basketball team. And it's got facilities coming out the wazoo and everything. And now it looks like Quebec may be on the outs again, and Seattle may actually, jump the shark, if you will, on those guys and get the expanded franchise. It's looking real good. Commissioner Bettman's smiling, and when he does, that's always a wow. Jeez, poor people in Quebec. They are pissed. They really are. Meanwhile, Seattle's kind of like thumbing their noses at them. It'll be fun to see how this all turns out. Hey, I told you this was our last show of the year. It certainly is. So I want to take this opportunity once again to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. That's from me, from Dave Cable, and all the people associated with In the Crease. And when we come back in 2018, brand new set, same old show. It'll be a lot of fun. Look, on the last episode, I played this little clip, and it was put together by the NHL. And it showed all of the weird and strange moments that happened so far this year. I got a lot of response from that. I truly did. There were a lot of people that liked that. I mean, it was put together well. NHL Films, they're not slackers. They know how to put together a decent video. And it went over so well, and the people liked seeing it so much that I have another installment of that for you, and we're going to go out with tonight's show with that installment. These are weird things that have happened in the game of hockey this season alone. I think you'll enjoy this a lot. Until then, remember that when it comes to hockey, if you're in the game, you're in the crease. Buon Natale.
Up ahead for Marlowe, in on Nurse. Patrick Marlowe spins it around and shoots. Brossoit makes the save. Nurse off his helmet, rebound, score!
This is unbelievable. Chris Russell shoots this into his own net. This is not Kadri. Oh my goodness. Watch Russell, he wants to get rid of it. got 2 goals in the period, 1 in each net. When things aren't going your way, they really don't go your way. Like the Oilers they got to be shaking their head.
Sprinting up the ice, Sagan, Tyler, backhand, scores! And gets mauled by his teammate. Happy group right there. Radulov's gonna kill someone. The thing I love about Alexander Radulov too is that he's as happy for the others' success as he is for his own.
Darling lost it. Desharnais scores. David Desharnais. The goalie misplays it, and the Rangers score.
Boy, oh boy, that'll give a coach gray hairs. Just a bouncing, rolling puck, and Darling just had trouble with it. It was bouncing and spinning and on edge, but it just hits his stick and goes right to the middle of the net.
Linesman back there, looks like a cell phone. The Jet fan didn't like the call. Threw the phone on the ice.
Probably an app for that.
Well, I'm trying to think of the mindset. I don't know if I've seen what you would do to throw a phone on the ice.
Delayed penalty on the Hawks. Spezza worked it right through the high slot. And Stars might have had like 8 guys on the ice. This might be even up. Well, here's the deal. It was an emphatic too many men on the ice call.
Yeah, the score may be tied at 2, but they had 2 to 3 extra players on the ice.
Lucic swings it around the boards, waiting for it is Greiber. His wrister scores! Greiber with a shot. Puljujarvi was right there in front, and it is 2-0.
Watch this shot from Eric Greiber. It goes off right through the skate of Mark Giordano. You don't see that too often.
End of a shift, just gets the puck deep. Riddick's gonna leave that one, and they score. He gave it away to Maroon, and Maroon tucks it in.
Just some miscommunication by David Riddick. Not a lot of chemistry between the defenseman and this goaltender just yet, and you can see he thinks that Hamonic is going to come around behind the net. Well, Hamonic's used to playing with Mike Smith, and so he backs off, expecting that pass.
He gives it to Nugent Hopkins. Now Riddick is back in there, and whoa, they score! They get a bounce in front. It was centered off a leg and in.
And that's a bounce the Oilers needed to go their way. The other night they saw a tough one go against Chris Russell, and tonight it's just a tough one on TJ Brodie.
Trying to hang on to the puck, still trying when he was down on his stomach. Here's Virtanen trying to break away, lost his stick and got it back, and he still got the shot. On the relay, Jake Virtanen just about dropped the baton. Loses his stick, grabs it back, and still somehow gets a piece of that one.
Top to point position, Kuznetsov was covering. The long slapper from Niskanen was easy pickings for Bobrovsky, who lost his balance in the crease there.
Talking to the official now, having some fun there. There's a big smile out of the veteran netminder. And watch him click the skate of Orlov right there as he's coming through. And those guys are buddies.
Sergei will hear about that.
DeMello flattens Kuznetsov. Ovechkin, great pass. Connolly off the crossbar! The Caps think it's in. The play continues.
And so does Connolly. He thought it was under.
Another rocket from Ovechkin off the crossbar.
It's determined the original shot by Connolly entered the net. Therefore, we have a good goal.
Making it a 3-1 lead.
And then the Ovechkin goal should be 4-1, right?
Islanders 1-1 in shootouts so far this season. As Tavares comes in slowly, stumbles, gets back to his feet as he keeps moving. Backhand, and glove save from Reimer.
Boy, that was a good move. He still made a pretty good play. He goes down, he maintains the control, keeps going forward, able to hang on, and tries to go backhand up over the glove.
Well, earlier tonight, there was an issue of a different kind, a little ceiling damage. I would have been grounded if that happened in the rec room, Jim.
Someone would have been upset.
And there is Santa Claus, if you wondered what he does in his off time as the packages are being loaded on the sled.
I think he just ordered it all on Amazon, then he doesn't have to be bothered. He can watch hockey.